Hello and welcome to this post-workout yoga flow. Find a nice comfortable seat, sitting up nice and tall, rooting down through your sits bones. And just focus on your breaths, your inhales and your exhales. Allow your breath to gradually build. Completely immersing yourself in this present moment. Think about your intention for this short, sweet practice after your workout. Whether that intention be physical or maybe a little deeper than that. Keeping yourself in this deep, relaxing state, we're now going to begin to move. Bringing your right ear over to your right shoulder. Take your right hand and place it on your collarbone. Placing your hand on your collarbone will help to accentuate the stretch a bit more. And breathe into this left side of your neck. And release. Returning the hand back to your lap, just switch sides, allowing the left ear to drape over towards your left shoulder, the left hand on your right collarbone, now breathing into the opposite side of your neck. Bring the left hand back down to your lap and dropping the chin to your chest, begin to circle the head in one direction, getting a nice even stretch along the entire perimeter of the neck. Feel free to pause at any point in this stretch where you feel a lot of tension and just breathe into that space. And switch directions if you haven't already. Returning the head back to center. Shrug the shoulders backwards a few times and then shrug them forwards a few times to loosen up the shoulder blades. Bring the arms out to the side, stretching the chest forward, lifting the chin. And as you exhale, bring your right arm underneath your left, bringing hands to opposite shoulders. Or if you'd like to go a little bit further, bring the backs of the hands to touch. Or for full expression of eagle arms, bring the palms of the hands to touch, crossing at the wrists. Anchor the elbows low, doing your best to draw the thumbs below the nose. You should feel a nice opening through the back body, especially the upper back body. And release, bringing the arms out to the side, stretching the chest forward, and switch. Bringing the left arm underneath your right and finding the same hand variation that you did on the opposite side. Hands to opposite shoulders, backs of the hands connect, or bring the palms to touch. Releasing, bringing the arms out wide one more time, reaching the heart forward, and meet me in a tabletop position. Wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Inhale, drop the belly, look up for cow pose. And exhale, round through the spine for cat pose. Continue this movement a few more times here, just warming up the spine, being sure to pull the shoulders away from the ears as you arch, and navel to spine as you round. Find a neutral spine. Take the knees out as wide as your mat and bring the hands forward just a couple of inches. Hips drop forward, melting towards the wrists as you lift the chin. On your breath out, bring the hips back towards the heels for a wide knee child's pose. Inhale for a wide knee cobra, letting the heart melt forward, and exhale, rounding and sending the hips backwards. Coming back to a neutral position, knees under hips. Meet me in a high plank, shoulders over wrists, and then lift the hips up for downward facing dog. Pedaling out the feet left and right, anchoring one heel, then the other down towards the earth. Use this as an opportunity to lengthen through the hamstrings, the calves, the Achilles tendon. And now anchoring that left heel down, place the right toes on top of your left heel. This should help to lengthen out the muscles in the back of that left leg even more. In your next inhale, reach the right leg up as high as you can get it. And as you exhale, round your knee to your nose and step that foot right between your hands. Find nice grounding through the feet, engaging through the inner thighs, and then reach the arms above your head for high lunge. See if you can power through your back quad to straighten out that leg even more. This is going to help to open up through that back hip flexor. Now opening up into Warrior 2, dropping the back heel so the outer edge of your back foot is parallel with the back edge of your mat. If you look past your front knee, you should be able to see your big and second toe. Flip the front palm, inhale, reach forward, and as you exhale, tip it back, allowing your back hand to gently rest on your back leg, lengthening through this right side waist. Straighten through your front leg for a reverse triangle. And inhale, come back upright. Shorten your stance by toe heeling the back foot in a couple inches. Engage through your front quad. And as you inhale, reach forward. Exhale, hinge at the hips as you reach down through your right hand, either letting the hand slide onto the outside of your front leg or to the inside of your front leg. Focus on spinning the heart up to the ceiling, and then allow the top hand to come down to the earth, both hands framing the front foot. Step the back foot forward, maybe about 6 to 12 inches to find square hips. And as you inhale, look forward, and as you exhale, let the forehead melt down towards your knee. Do your best to keep your hips square through this pyramid, encouraging the right hip back and melting the left hip forward. You're welcome to keep your forehead to knee, or you can find an undulation through your breath as I'm doing here. On your next inhale, reach the left leg up for supported warrior 3. And then as you exhale, slide that knee to the outside of your right foot. Now stacking your right knee on top of your left knee for Gomukhasana legs. Grabbing onto opposite feet, inhale, lengthen through the spine. And as you exhale, start to melt yourself forward. Be patient with yourself with this hip opener, as it can be very intense. If you feel that staying upright is the best position for you, feel free to stay in that first position. Otherwise, allow yourself to melt into this shape. Inhale, bring yourself back up to an upright position and unravel your legs just enough so that you can place your right ankle on top of your left knee and plant the left foot on the earth for figure 4, seated pigeon. And releasing both legs forward into Dandasana staff pose, pressing the heels forward, toes reaching back towards the face, flesh from underneath the sits bones. Inhale, reach the arms up, and as you exhale, fold forward into a seated forward fold. Try to keep your lower back as long as possible, and allow your forehead to melt down toward your knees or shins. And once again, feel free to practice an undulation through your breath again. Inhale, lifting up, and exhale, floating forward. Inhale now brings us all the way upright. And cross at the ankles and roll back over onto your hands and knees for tabletop. Extend the feet back into high plank, and exhale, lift the hips up, downward facing dog. Now switching sides, bringing the left toes on top of the right heel, lengthening through the back of that right leg. Inhale, reaches the left leg up nice and high. And as you exhale, step the foot between your hands. Strong through the legs, pressing through the front heel as you reach the arms up. High lunge. Powering through the back heel. Noticing the more that you engage your right quad, the more of a stretch you'll feel through your right hip flexor. And now dropping the back heel for warrior 2, arms lengthen, gaze past your front middle finger. Drop the hips low. Flip the front palm. Inhale, reach forward, and exhale, tip it back, reverse warrior. Straightening through your front leg for reverse triangle. Notice how much more of an opening you have through that left side body by just making that small adjustment of straightening that front leg. Inhale brings you back upright. Shorten your stance. And inhale, reach forward. Exhale, tip it down for Trikonasana. Rolling the heart up and towards the ceiling. Stacking the hands. And as you take your next breath out, release the right hand down to the ground, framing the front foot. Shorten your stance. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, melt into the shape. Inhale, lift the right leg up nice and high for the supported warrior 3, and then tuck that knee to the outside of your standing foot. Now stacking the left knee on top of the right knee for cow facing pose. Just with the lower body we're focusing on here. As you inhale, sit up tall. And remember, feel free to stay in that upright position if that's what suits you today. Otherwise, let yourself melt forward and just relax, focusing on your breath. Inhale brings us back up to an upright position. Unravel the legs halfway just to come to this figure 4 position. Left ankle on right thigh. And now unraveling the legs completely to extend the feet forward, flesh out from underneath the sits bones. Inhale, reach the arms up, and exhale, melt forward, grabbing for the ankles or the outer edges of the feet. Inhale, we reinforce the length in the spine, and exhale, we melt. Inhale, slowly round yourself back up to a comfortable seat. Hands behind you, fingertips facing forward for reverse plank. You have the option to keep the legs straight here, or if you would like to take a little bit of a break, bend the knees. And lowering the hips down. Bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees fall out open like a book for bound ankle pose. Inhale, we lengthen through the lower back, and exhale, melt forward, allowing the forehead to relax down towards the feet, but keeping as much length through the lower back as possible. Allow your exhales to melt away the tension in the hips so that the knees can melt down towards the earth. Inhale, slowly come back up. Bring the legs out wide for a straddle, leaning over onto your left side, lifting the heart up to the ceiling as you lean. Inhale, lift yourself back to center, and exhale, lean over to the other leg. Inhale back to center, and exhale, reaching the arms forward. Inhale, slowly walk the hands back up. Soften the knees and draw the feet together to touch. And now time for our final resting pose, shavasana. The feet are as long and as wide as your mat. Place both hands onto your lower belly and focus on the rise and fall of your belly as you breathe in and out. Notice how the body feels now versus how it did before you began this short, relaxing post-workout yoga. Notice where and how the breath sits in the body. And notice how each breath allows the body to sink further into the earth. We'll be here for a couple of minutes. Feel free to stay here for as long as your body needs. Consider this your rest and recovery. You deserve it. Thank you for joining me for this practice today, and I'll see you in the next video. Namaste.